Hi, Jeremy here, Modern Vitality. In today's video, we're talking about diabetes. So I've seen this as a condition where people have like fibromyalgia or some other complex chronic health condition, chronic fatigue syndrome, long haulers, Lyme disease, mold exposure, something like that. And then they also have diabetes, right? On top of that, which sure doesn't make things easier. People want to know, okay, how do I reverse this? And there are some things that you can look at, a lot of dietary stuff. Obviously, there's limiting, starches and carbs and that kind of thing. You can start looking at ketogenic diets. That works for some people. But instead of guessing, right, you can either get your DNA tested and find out what kind of diets work well for you, right? That's one way to do it. You can do small experiments on yourself. So you're going to hear the leaves crunching. It's just one of those days. You can do small experiments on yourself. You can try different diets and see how you like those. And I would offer one of the best things to do is take a whole systems view of your body and go, okay, here are the stages of healing. Immune system, stage 1. Stage 2, digestive. Stage 3, neuroadrenal. Stage 4, blood circulation. There's kind of a bonus stage 5 of biohacking and supplements and things like that. Not everybody needs that, right? But it's there and it's in order. And it's the same process that I'm using anyway for people who have complex chronic health conditions. So if you have chronic fatigue syndrome or fibromyalgia or Lyme disease or mold exposure, long haulers, right? Any of these things, you're going to be doing this kind of process anyway if you want to heal. And what's really interesting is a lot of the herbs that we use, like the Chinese herbs, when you follow that process, you're going through the same process I would take a diabetic patient through anyway, right? It's really cool because we're going after the whole system. Right? So you don't have to take one thing for chronic fatigue, one thing for fibromyalgia, one thing for diabetes, right? It's the same process. Of course, we've got to custom tailor it for the individual, right? It's got to be unique and bespoke and fit you and your presentation. It's got to be able to move with you through the stages as you navigate those on your own body's timeline, right? But for diabetes, you'll have different organs. They're going to take like a few months to regenerate, right? And there's certain things that you want to do with that in order. And you can start with that. It's the same process. It has the same fundamental backbone, the same structure as the process you'd use to overcome fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome or any of these other funky conditions, right? It's the same process. And the reason why is because the human body gets sick and gets tangled up in certain ways. There are certain kind of strategies it takes when it's under attack, right, from different things, whether it's emotional, like stressors, traumas, those kinds of things. It could be immune triggers, right? You're getting hit with different pathogens. It could be different things with food and what you're eating. It could be just pesticides and the toxicity in the environment, right? Injury, physical injury, car accidents, those kinds of things. Whatever it is, whatever the triggers are, there are certain ways that the body tends to adapt and get sick. And once you understand this, then you can work with your body. You can go through the stages, 1, 2, 3, 4, in order. It might not be fast, right? Instant, but you're going the right direction. You will get healing long term. And part of that has to do with, especially, with type 2 diabetes, now you've got your blood sugar starting to be able to be regulated, right? Because you're undoing some of this organ damage and you're undoing the way the body systems lean on each other, right? So if you start to get sick and you're having inflammatory problems, those processes aren't just limited to the immune system. They're going to start to affect your gut as well, right? The immune system and the digestive system, they're like knitted together. How would this not affect blood sugar, right? So when we start to do this, when you start to detangle the body in order, that's where you start to unlock some of these other conditions, some of these things that are, they call them comorbidities, right? It means it happens together, happens at the same time. So if you have fibromyalgia, right? A comorbidity might be IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. And another comorbidity might be diabetes, right? Another comorbidity might be depression, anxiety, right? How about that? How about you start healing your body in order and then watch your mental health change, because there's nothing like starting to feel better and starting to live your life and be able to do the things that you couldn't do before. There's nothing like that to lighten your mood, right? To help you feel fulfilled and happy in life. You wake up and you're excited about your day and you got energy to go do the things you want to do. That is magic for mental health, right? It's not your fault if you have anxiety, depression, right? Low morale, and a complex chronic health condition. It's not your fault you feel that way. Of course you feel that way. It's understandable, right? I'm smiling. I'm making light of this. I know this is a very serious thing, right? But it's like, sometimes it's just so obvious. I don't know why, the medical system wants to tranquilize everybody and put you on antidepressants and Xanax and everything else, when a lot of the reason you got issues with mental health is because you're fighting your body, right? Let's just get your body going better. Let's get these pathogens out. Let's get your energy levels up. Let's get you sleeping better. Let's get you digesting your food, right? And then you can socialize again. You can be happy again. You can do fun things. And then we'll find out if you actually had depression or not, if you actually had anxiety that needs to be diagnosed, or if you're just a normal person responding the way any normal person would to having their freedom taken away because their body's going crazy and they don't understand it, right? Once we understand it, we realize your body's not going crazy. It's got its own logic. Once we respect that, we can start to undo it. So I hope this video helps you in your perspective. The best thing you need to know is that there's a plan, there's an order. If you want to heal your body, no matter what it is, especially if you got diabetes involved too, you want to be strategic, right? Don't just guess. Don't be taking a bunch of random stuff, looking for silver bullets, trying not to fall for like marketing things and, oh, this worked for somebody on a forum, so I guess I'll try it. And then it doesn't work, and then you get let down and you're more depressed, right? Don't fall for that. Have a plan. Stick to a plan. It's got to be flexible. It's got to be dynamic. It's got to be adaptive. It's got to be realistic, right? But a good plan will take you a long, long way towards long-term healing. So if this is helpful for you, you might consider applying for our Modern Vitality Solutions and Support Group. It's free to join as a guest. We're having these kinds of conversations every day. I've got a whole vault full of interactive videos that'll help you figure out your next step, and I hope to see you there. There's an application. All right, let's get you feeling better. Cheers.